What's up, everybody? This is your girl Ty. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd. I'm gonna get these dates right one day. And this is yesterday's news. A group of over 30 managers, attorneys, agents, and other music industry professionals have come together to create the Black Music Action Coalition. Their goal is to not only advance racial justice within the music industry, but also in society as a whole, in keeping with the mission of Black Lives Matter, according to an article in Billboard. The BMAC, which is working in alliance with the hashtag The Show Must Be Paused movement, has called on the music industry to put a plan for change together within the next 30 days. They've released an open letter, which you can find on their website. And in that letter, they outline their top priorities moving forward, which includes meeting with each company's CEO, senior management, and heads of newly formed inclusion task forces. You know how like a lot of these labels have said that they are starting new divisions or task forces to kind of investigate systemic racism within the industry. So the BMAC is going to be working with those people to work to mutually develop a plan to address systemic racism within the music industry. They also want to have a role in how the funds that have been promised to the Black community are going to be dispersed, which to me I think is super, super important. So the BMAC's advisory board includes Clarence Avant and Quincy Jones, which kind of tells you the kind of power, the type of power that's behind it. I know Cortez Bryant, who is Lil Wayne's longtime manager and Nicki Minaj and Drake's manager at one point. I'm not sure. I think he still manages them, but ran Young Money for Wayne for the longest. He's involved, as well as Ashana Ayers, who is a longtime record executive as well. So you can go over to their website, bmacoalition.org, to read the full open letter to the industry. The ESPYs were held remotely yesterday, which is several weeks earlier than what they would normally be. Normally it happens like in that weird lull where I think baseball hasn't started yet and the MLB is on a break, and then that's when they run the ESPYs, so a little bit later in the summer usually. They ran yesterday and took a very surprising turn towards social justice. The show was hosted by Russell Wilson, as well as soccer star Megan Rapinoe and basketball player Sue Bird. And the three of them went right into a presentation about the history of athletic activism, like soon as the show started. And it was, such a vast departure from the stance that ESPN has had over the last few years as everything with Colin Kaepernick developed. The stance that ESPN has taken on their anchors having things to say about racial injustice. So even Jemele Hill, who of course was fired because of her stance on social justice, made a statement about it on Twitter that she would have never imagined in a million years that the ESPYs would not only include the words Black Lives Matter in a broadcast, but actually start the show there. In addition to that change of, setting the tone early, and of course having all the awards be presented from home, the ESPYs also canceled this year any awards that have anything to do with on-court or field performance, since every sport except for the NFL had their seasons cut short this year. And then the awards also featured a tribute to Kobe Bryant, which came in the form of a song by Snoop Dogg, brand new song that he debuted last night on the ESPYs, including complete with a video of footage from Kobe's career from high school on up, and appearances by some of his former teammates. So the sports world, just like the rest of us, still reeling from Kobe Bryant's death. BET has released another round of details about this year's BET Awards, which this time was a list of scheduled performances. The show on Sunday night will feature performances by Alicia Keys, Roddy Ricch, Chloe and Halle, DaBaby, D Smoke, Jennifer Hudson, John Legend, Kane Brown, Lil Wayne, Masego, who will be performing as the BET Amplified artist, as well as Megan Thee Stallion, Sir, Summer Walker, Usher, and Wayne Brady. Not sure if Wayne Brady will be singing, which he does sometimes, but he's listed as one of the performers. I'm also still not sure what the format of the awards is supposed to be this year. And again, it may have been in one of the previous press releases and I just kind of missed that detail, but I still don't know if this is like everybody's going to be at the same place and they're going to record everything minus an audience. Is everybody going to be, performing and accepting remotely? No details yet. What we do know is that Terrence J and Erica Ash will be co-hosting the very first virtual and interactive pre-show special that will actually feature some special guests, including some of the nominees for this year's awards. So that's going to happen at 7 p.m. on BET, and the main attraction will start at 8 p.m. on all Viacom stations, including CBS. So again, this year you don't need cable to actually watch the BET Awards. Live Nation is testing out a new drive-in concert series. I say testing out, they say launching, but it's 3 shows, so I feel like that's more of a test. It's being called Live from the Drive-In, and they have tapped Brad Paisley, Nelly, Darius Rucker, and another country artist by the name of Jon Pardi for this series, which will only take place, like I said, in 3 cities. And that's going to be Nashville, Maryland Heights, Missouri, which is right outside of St. Louis, and Noblesville, Indiana, which is right outside of Indianapolis. Brad Paisley is going to be performing at all 3 shows. Nelly is joining him in Missouri only. And Darius Rucker and Jon Pardi are joining him in Nashville. I'm not sure if there's going to be another person performing with Brad Paisley in Indianapolis, but what I do know is that Street Execs has been hosting a parking lot concert series here in Atlanta for about 3 weeks now. They've had 3 performances total. They started on June 6th with Schoolie, and then the weekend before last, they had Travis Porter for their 10-year anniversary show. Last weekend, they had Young Dro, which is really exciting for me because that means that the concert series will not be limited to just Street Execs artists. So they haven't announced the next performer yet. Keep your eyes out for that. Now, on Friday, in honor of Juneteenth, and I'm assuming the anniversary of the Tulsa Massacre as well, BET made the first season of Watchmen available for free over the weekend. Of course, you know that the show, well, you may not know, but I think that they made a really big deal about it. So even if you hadn't seen the show, you would know this. But the show Watchmen actually starts with the Tulsa Massacre that happened 99 years ago this past weekend. So I think that had something to do with it. Regardless, now HBO has made the show Random Acts of Flyness available for free on YouTube. It is a show by director Terrence Nance that debuted in 2018, and HBO describes it as a fluid stream of conscious response to the contemporary American mediascape. The show only had 1 season so far, although it was renewed in August of 2018. There's still no word as to when season 2 will happen. So right now, all 6 episodes from season 1 are available on YouTube until June 26th. So we should go and run that up on YouTube, just so they don't change their minds and not bring season 2 back. And speaking of second seasons, this is technically today's news, but I didn't want to wait until tomorrow. Black as Fuck has been renewed for a 2nd season on Netflix. All of the show's actors will be returning, including the creator Kenya Barris as himself and Rashida Jones as his wife, Joya. The announcement comes just days after Kenya Barris announced that he was also working with Pharrell on a Juneteenth musical for Netflix. We don't really have a lot of details on that, but if it's anything like that I Am a Slave cartoon, Schoolhouse Rock mock video that they did with the Roots for the show Blackish, it's going to be amazing and I can't wait to see it. That's going to do it for me today, you guys. Make sure you comment, share, send me your feedback, and come back tomorrow for today's news.